Hey guys. Okay, so I'm just going to put down some basic guidelines for your average whimsical face. And we're going to do two views. We're going to do a straight ahead view and we're going to do a 3/4 view. Okay, so if we start with, if our girl is whimsical, she's probably going to have more of a round face, and for our purposes here, might be simpler. Maybe I'll do a little bit of an oval. But that's the beauty of just going around and around. You can change your mind as you go. And, I got that from Karen Campbell at Awesome Art School. And I like it doing it this way instead of trying to get, your face shape down right from the beginning, because you allow your subconscious mind to work a little bit. As you're going around and around, you kind of get a feel for more of the type of face you would like to do. So this is going to be pretty round, but I'll give it more of an oval shape. All right. So, and I'm already sort of coming in a little bit on the bottom part of my oval. That's why if I had done a circle, you would just sort of cut off the sides of your circle. But I'll leave this line here pretty thick so that you can see it. So the first thing we're going to do is cut our face in half vertically, and then we're going to cut it in half again horizontally, and this is our eye line, right? And then we're going to cut it in half again, and this is our nose. Oh, of course there's a motorcycle outside. And then we're going to cut this bottom part in half again. And that's our lips. Now, with this eye line, depending on what type of eyes you want to do, there's a few ways to go. Now, for example, I've heard some people, to get the spacing right, they will do 5, let me see, so that would be like 1, 2, 3, like all equidistant, 5 ovals going across. And then obviously your eye, you would take out the far eye here, the far eye here, or the oval I should say, and then the middle one. And this actually is not a bad way to go, because this does give you pretty eyes really aren't that big. Real eyes aren't that big, and it's a good guideline if you want to do a more realistic face. Another way to go, what Karen does, for example, is she'll do like an indent here, because her eyes tend to be whimsical, and she'll do them bigger, and then she'll have 3 eyes going across to do her spacing. And then just she'll just take out the middle one, and that gives you bigger eyes that you can play with and start working with. Usually myself lately, I do much bigger eyes, and if you're going to do eyes like that, if you want like the big eye look on a girl, the only spacing tip I would say would be to put let me get my eye line back. Would be to put two circles, two large circles right in the center of each half of those, you know what I mean? Like have your eye the same distance from the center, that center line. Then your nose line, you put a circle here, and then two smaller circles on either side. And your lips, I'll put two circles on that top line, and then a larger oval on the bottom, and you can play with that in any way you want. You can make bow lips, you can make big lips. It's just a great way to start. And like for here, this for example, you would come down with like a U shape here, and then get your nostrils in on either side. And then if you were drawing a nose, you would just come around those circles on either side. And then put this thing in. I always forget the name of it. I can't believe it. You know, and then we would start, say, our lesson from there. If you want to do a 3/4 face, I would start with a circle, and again just go around and around, and this time I would try to get as close to a good circle as you can. And that's what's good about going around and around, because you can, you pick the line that is your perfect circle. Now, ordinarily I would draw these lines much lighter, but I want you guys to see them. Then this middle line now is going to be curved, depending on where you want it. I mean, the further over it goes, things start getting a little bit tricky. But for a basic 3/4 face, let's start it that way, and then you're going to cut this in half again. Same principle as above. Cut this in half again. And then our lip line again. Now, this time, okay, so let's do the big eyes again. And I would say again, just make sure that each eye is the same distance away from this center line. Like this space in here should be the same. Then we have our nose. And now I'm only going to draw a circle on this one side, because depending on how we draw this, we're not really going to see this outer nostril. But we're going to draw in the one nostril. We might, if this were real, we might be able to see the other nostril, but for now, we'll leave that out. And again, I'm going to draw two circles and then an oval. But already you can see that the jaw isn't right. So we just erase this line, and we bring the jaw, the jaw and the chin down like that. And then we're going to swing it up like this to meet the circle. So we can erase these lines. And a lot of it is just looking to make sure it feels right. You always make sure that you feel comfortable with your drawing before you go ahead with your painting. Now with the lips here, I want the angle of these lips to be the same as the angle of my jaw. So I'm gonna do the same thing that I did up here, but I'm not going to bring the lip out on this side like I did here. We're just going to bring it on one side, and we can sort of put a little indentation here. It looks pretty good. And then we just put in our lip line. So, and then the ear is always between the eye and the nose. And then from there, you just do your hair. Your eyebrows will determine your character's expression. I do a lot of sad eyes lately, so they tend to just go up like that. Can't really see it, but if you want her to look surprised, then you bend them up like that. I could do a whole little section on just I think I'll bring this up a little bit more, but you just keep tweaking it until it feels right. Same thing with ears here, in between the eye line and the nose line. Okay, so that's how we get started. And there we are. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah. And now we're off to a good start. You might make adjustments along the way, and for example, I always like to sort of make sure that my eyes, that's something you want to kind of pay attention to as well. You don't want to finish your piece and then realize, oh my god, this eye is so much higher than the other eye. Little tricks like that, but I do get into that in my courses. Okay, so I hope this helped you get started. Okay. All right, see you in class. Okay, guys, just interrupting here real quick. This is the girl that, I just started drawing. But as I was thinking about this last night, I thought, you know what, maybe you need it might be better to have some shapes to start with. And I started playing with circles and triangles, like this triangle that, looks like a pizza slice. And this is a good whimsical 3/4 face. So let me, I have some space here. So let's just do a circle. And I'm just going to show you how this would work. Do a circle. You can trace something, go get a Tupperware lid if you want. And we're going to gently bend. We're not going to come down through the center. For a 3/4 face, we're going to cut it like this, but just gently bend that line. Okay. And now we're going to cut it in half like we did with the straight ahead face. and just make a little dot just outside of the circle, and make a little dot over here on that eye line. What we're going to do is we're going to start our pizza, does that circle look right? We're going to start our pizza slice, and we're going to bring this line down to meet that center line there. And then we're going to draw from this side, the other side of our pizza slice. Okay, now inside this bottom triangle here, this is where you're going to draw your chin. Just put like a sort of a curved line through that. Take off the bottom part of the slice. Take out the inner circle, and you can see a chin start to happen, right? I guess you can follow the line of your circle, but just it's from, do like a curved line to come down and meet this chin, and then just soften the line here. So take out anything on the inside. And now we have pretty nice, we can always like see, this is much more round here. This comes out a little more angular here. Every face is going to come out different. But you want to get a nice 3/4 look to your girl. So we would take this bottom half and half again, like we did above, and then that half and half again for our lips. And if we're doing big eyes, again, one here, and then sort of a half eye over here. Let me make this a little bigger. And try to keep them, the same distance from that center line there. Now we have our nose. Now, we're going to put our outer circles for the nostrils. As the drawing moves forward, you may or may not want to keep this outer nostril, because if you did like a nose line, you might just come around the circle of the nose here, in which case you would erase that, because if it's 3/4, she might be out of, or that nostril might be out of view. That's where you get playful. I think she's kind of looking enough ahead here that we would see that, but that's just something to play with. And you just put your bracket around the nose. I guess I should have brought this down more, like my V under that circle, and then the nostrils on either side. And then the lip line, again, 2 circles and an oval. But what's going to change is this jawline here creates an angle, and I want my lip line to follow that angle. So I would make sure that the top lip comes out to hit that line. And then, you just make your lips as big or small as you want. If you want to do more bow lips, you would just bring them up. This is a little too small. This this drawing. But you know, she looks cute, right? And as we proceed in the class, you'll see, you know, much more detail. But I just wanted to give you the basic whimsical face using shapes, okay? And then, you know, you can start putting her hair in. But we'll do another 3/4 face where I do it a little more freestyle. This ear's a little low. It's usually like between the eye and the nose. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, got it. Okay, when I just put her on my lap here, I saw that the angle was a little off. I'm looking at the computer screen and I'm sitting at a coffee table. So I pulled this out a little bit more here from where we were. Again, it's just, even with shapes, there's still a lot of tweaking, and I brought the lips out further on that, on the right here. That looks better than where I was, but you know, you got to get your drawing right. You got to be happy with it. When I just put this on my lap, I was like, whoops, I didn't see that this was coming in too far. So when it looks off, you know, just keep working on it and trust your mind's, trust your eye. Okay, good. That's better. I'm happier now. Okay, guys, hope you found this helpful. Please check out my other art tutorials here on YouTube and also at artandsoulschool.net, which is where the real-time versions are of my classes. Okay, so please subscribe and I'll see you in class.